Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a Lego set and then start a model kit. We'll finish up a Lego set and do a model kit. We're going to do a little bit of everything. Those that are watching live on Twitch, some of you just saw a 30-second ad because today um, they started rolling out ads that will benefit affiliates like myself. First and foremost, I'll talk about that in a second. I should thank Leo. Let's throw the Bear Cave emote in there if you're here and you're a subscriber. Let's thank Leo for renewing their subscription. Let's say hi to Harold and Lashbrook and all that. But yeah, Dude Wants His Rug is here. Good friends are here already. So Ultron's here. Hello. To explain, what I'm going to do is, if available, I will run an ad. Harold is now hosting the stream. I will run an ad before the stream starts, and I will run an ad probably at the end of the stream. I do not plan to run ads once we get started, like we're talking now, and once we build. I will still do my usual chat with you halfway through about ways you can subscribe. Harold, thank you very much for hosting. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave out again. I appreciate that. I'm still going to do my usual, check in. Here's how to promote, here's how to subscribe and Patreon and all that. I'll always do that in the middle. But my goal for ads is to just do before and after. So when I say goodbye, I'll run an ad, and you can click away if you don't want to watch it. If usually like 9:03 or so, I'll run an ad. It'll be 30 seconds. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to. If you run ad blockers, hey, you run ad blockers, and I can't do anything to stop you. I prefer you whitelisted Twitch so that I can receive some revenue. You don't have to. I believe that some Twitch Prime users don't see ads, but some do. There are still countries in this world where Twitch Turbo is still a thing, so those people don't see ads. I don't know what countries there are. I don't know if I have viewers in those countries. This should not affect anybody in any meaningful way, other than sometimes there will be a time where you see an ad, of which I, and sorry if you catch an ad, and it's like, that's not what I'd like to see. But what I should say is, hopefully now, the ads you see before my stream starts will benefit me, and I will get a little bit of revenue. It'll be an extra way for me to buy model kits. That's new. That's a new thing. Literally, it kicked off today. There's a new dashboard, which I'm not using because right now it is black background with text and not the white background with text, and I don't like that. So I'm not using the new dashboard, but I'll check it out. It's way more modular looking than the current dashboard, so I'm excited about that. I'm also excited to work on a Lego kit and to chat with you. I also think I solved the echo problem that we had yesterday. As far as I know, there is no echo now, so that's good. And I don't know what that was, but it was annoying yesterday, and I had to mute the sound, which also is just, not. I like the notification noise when people host and subscribe and do bits and coins. As a reminder, it's October. The leaderboard above the chat, Recyclable is in the lead with 130 bits, followed by Not Ground Style and Crazy Like Fox. And that resets every month. I'm going to be drinking a lot of water because my voice is still kind of shot from this previous weekend at New York Comic Con. Reminder, if you are a Twitch Prime user, you have to manually renew. And even if you're up for renewal and you're paying with cash money, click that button so that you get the notification pop up and we all know that you subscribed, because that fucking rules. As you know, I did I worked at the Hammerstein Ballroom for New York Comic Con. That's why I streamed last night. The archive of last night is not currently up on YouTube. It will be as soon as this stream is over. I had to re-upload it, and it just finished uploading, and now it's a process. So I apologize for that, but I had to re-upload it. It will go out to everybody as soon as it's over. Yeah, I streamed last night and I'm streaming tonight, so I'm doing 2 build streams in a row. Let me know in the chat. How are y'all doing? How's it going tonight? We're going to talk about the temp job that I started today, which was very boring, and I have very little to say about it. But I will describe it and talk about it because, content. Um, a new anime series debuted. It is one of the last of the debuts. I believe all we've got coming up is the returns. So this was the last new show, other than shows that I haven't checked out that someone is going to tell me, oh wait, hey, you're not watching this show? You got to check this out. And then But right now I believe I'm watching everything I want to watch. We had the finale of an anime, which was fine. And then we had an ongoing, which I have been the last 2 episodes I dunked on heavily, but or Sunday night's episode of this anime was real good. So good job, Toei. Leo says I'm great. I just got a mount drop after 41 mythic boss kills like 10 minutes ago. Hell yeah, Leo. That sounds rad. Congratulations on your mount drop. That's cool. We'll go to the overhead in just a moment or two. I'm just going to fiddle with some stuff here real quick, and then we'll get into that. All right, this tweet has not blown up in my face yet. That's always nice. Sometimes you talk about controversial things, and if you have any kind of following on the internet, now granted, I have a dedicated following, which I very much appreciate, but the real trouble is when someone with way more followers than me retweets something that I've said, because then I open up it to people who don't know me, and that's always rough. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it is not good. In this case, I just tweeted out about there. I put Vince, but it really is Paul Heyman. WWE has 2 ongoing storylines right now that are cuckolding. And that seems odd. It's because it's 2019, and I just put, where are my poly dramas? I want to see polygamy. And the ins and outs and the goods and bads of polygamy, because it's 2019, and I don't need especially especially somebody who is literally married to their character that they're performing with. Yes, Leo, it is Vince. This is a thing that is a pattern of character drama behavior when you have a manager who is a woman and you are a man with Paul Heyman, and then yes, and certainly also it has been documented. He didn't say it into a microphone, but it has been documented in various media that Vince McMahon does not enjoy Lana and Rusev as a couple, because he does not believe that they would be together, even though in real life they are indeed together, and they are married to one another. And currently, she is sleeping with another man who is also a wrestler, and that's a thing that's happening. Let's go to the overhead. Let's start building a Lego set, because that part of professional wrestling is bothering me. There's a lot of things that are bothering me about professional wrestling. That's just one of them. WWE specifically. Okay, so if you've been watching the past 2 streams, you saw me build the Rocket Rally car. Then you saw me build the Rocket Rally truck. And now I'm going to build the Rocket Rally bike, which is just a 4-wheel ATV-like thing. And then we'll be done. Lastbrick says WWE sure has been on a streak of sorts. Indeed. It's really frustrating because in some ways I love it. I love some of the wrestlers. I love some of the characters. I love some of the work rate. The work rate's never been better. Some Attitude Era. People talk about the Attitude Era. You can say all you want about the Attitude Era. There were some not great wrestlers, not great wrestling in those days. The work rate right now is phenomenal, which is not a pun. People love that Hell in a Cell. People love some of that Hell in a Cell. Some of that Hell in a Cell was pretty great. One of those Hell in a Cell matches was pretty phenomenal. Fantastic, even. And innovative and interesting. And then there was a tag match that was really fucking good. And Asuka has a goddamn belt again. I'm excited about that. The Mist. And I don't care if that was heelish. It was great. But yeah, talk about a bad read. Look, you don't want Seth Rollins to lose? Okay. You don't want The Fiend to win? Okay. Maybe don't put them in a Hell in a Cell then. You didn't have to do that match. You could have had The Fiend fight Braun for no title. Or he fought Seth in a non-title match and beat Seth, and they could have dragged it out farther. Instead, the referee decided that the Hell in a Cell match couldn't continue, which has also happened last year. Yeah, second Hell in a Cell match, main event ending in no contest, says Leo. Yeah. Also, what if the cell collapsed? How about the cell just breaks apart and they have to call the match because there is no cell anymore and the ring is unusable? I don't know. The Fiend destroyed the ring because he was annoyed. Whatever. Look, I'm mad. I'm mad at wrestling, and I'm sorry, y'all. You don't need that negativity from me. But The Fiend is a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and Seth Rollins is... Look, there's a double whammy of... Seth Rollins has beaten Brock Lesnar. Seth Rollins is enjoyed by the audience. But it was very clear that he and his fiancée do not have on-television chemistry, which is incredibly strange, but true. So that storyline took a long time and was weird. And then also, nobody wants The Fiend to lose. I don't care if he's a heel. People don't want him to lose. So you make him face, or you don't put him up against people that you want to beat him. So if you don't want the title on him, fine. But then don't put him in a match. What are you doing? I love the video of X-Pac on the watch along. Literally, he goes, I don't... so they have a thing called watch along where they have some wrestlers, current and former, watching and reacting. It's basically Twitch Reacts or YouTube Reacts, like live streams. Only they're doing it, which is weird. But they do that. And X-Pac... who at certain moments of his career was so hated by the audience, they created its own category called X-Pac Heat. Heat, for those that don't follow professional wrestling, is a thing where you want heat if you're a bad guy. Heels want heat. But I want you to get beat heat. Or I want comeuppance heat. I want a blow-off heat. Not, I'd like you to go away, please stop being on my television heat. X-Pac Heat is... Hey, please stop being here, Heat. And it's great to have him react to that and be like, hey, you might not want me on here, but that shouldn't be how a Hell in a Cell match ends. It was very frustrating as a fan for that to happen. Yes, Baron Corbin heat. Now, to be fair to Baron Corbin, he has beaten his own heat. He no longer has X-Pac heat. He has the heat you should get. I would like, when people stomp on that crown, when he gets beat up, when The Rock says that not particularly the joke of, you're a super terrific dude, so let's chant super terrific dude. That's too long. Let's chant STD, which is, it's The Rock. Come on. But the audience is laughing along. They're not like, get off my television. Folks that don't follow wrestling, Baron Corbin was pushed to the moon. He was given a big monumental push, and the audience was like, no thank you. And WWE was like, yes. And the audience was like, let me adjust this here. No thank you. Actually, no. No longer no thank you. Just no. And he was like, and they were like, but yeah. Well, you don't like this? Well, we're gonna shave his head, and he's gonna look like a maitre d'. How's that? And they're like, no. He's gonna be in a lot of main events, and he's gonna help people you already don't like continue to do things. We're like, no. And they were like, okay, he's a king of the ring, but he's really snide about it and really confident. And we're like, okay, all right, okay, finally. He was the commissioner of Raw, and the WWE officials came out, the McMahons came out, uh, and said, we hear you. You want changes. And they were like, you're doing a bad job, Baron Corbin. You're fired from this position. They blamed the owners of the WWE who create the world that we're watching, blamed a wrestler for the problems that we have with the McMahons. And it was like, no, you gave Baron Corbin this job. We told you we don't like him. And you were like, no, more Baron Corbin. We're not, this is not better. But yeah, it took a long time for him to get there. Dirty, hello. Jam, hello. Welcome. We're building model kits here. I mentioned at the top of the stream. I will not take. I will be taking my 10 p.m. break where I do my thoughts for the cause. I will not be playing an ad during that, but I will be playing an ad at the end of the stream. So some of you will see an ad at the end of the stream. Maybe not everybody. Some of you will. I'll run an ad at the end, and I'll run an ad at the beginning because they just did it. They just made it possible for subscribers, or not subscribers, for affiliate streamers like myself to run ads that benefit streamers. And I did that. I ran an ad, and that was cool. And I could run an ad at the end. But I promise you, I will never run ads during the stream. Until I become partner, then I'll run ads a lot because that cut is very good. And that also leads to to targeted advertising and opportunities. But also, I'm not going to make partner anytime soon. I don't think I'll ever, actually, legitimately, don't think I'll ever make partner because I stream 6 hours a week. And my average viewers is 11 to 15, somewhere between there. Sometimes I break 20, and that fucking rules. I often have at least 11. And that's great because chat is active and y'all are awesome people. And I'm not trying to blow the fuck up. But I should be having like 75 viewers. All right, let me talk about this thing that instead of talking about wrestling, which I'm just infuriated with, let's talk about my job that I had today. If you missed the stream last night, I have a temp job that I started today, and it was fine. I am working for a company that clearly has a bunch of money. They have 3 floors of a very tall building, and they have areas where people eat. They got pantries. They got one place called the Cafe. It's really big. They got a bunch of other stations. This company is big on coffee. Everybody drinks coffee. Everybody needs their refills of coffee. That is their thing. And their pantries have snacks because they are a company where you can get snacks, which is cool. And they need people. Honestly, really what they need is they need people to run dishwashers and clean all their mugs and glasses and then refill their coffee and then, just be available, chat with people, prep stuff, clean things, empty dishwashers, clean out the sink, refill all of the snacks, the many, many snacks these people have access to. Somebody's got to refill those snacks. And that someone, for the time being anyway, is me. Because I am going to be the afternoon person that does that. My shift is Monday through Friday, 2:30 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. because it is a part-time job. I will still be able to make it home in time for my 9 p.m. streams on Monday and Thursday. I do not expect there to be an issue. In fact, this Thursday, I'm working in the morning, so I can learn that so that I can cover shifts and work in the morning. Because there's setup involved, and so it's slightly different. And because I've talked about this on stream last night, I'll say this. This job is temp to perm through an agency that has placed me in this job, and I am going to quit this job next week. Because if the job, the full-time job that I have applied for and they have accepted and made an offer, if that goes through, I'm waiting on paperwork for that job. But theoretically, next week, I will start to train for a new job, which I can do from my apartment here. And that job is customer service for an online t-shirt ordering company. And that job is what I would prefer to do. It is mornings into afternoons. I can be here. I can be doing some other things while I'm answering emails. That job is a guaranteed middle October to the end of the year, with the possibility of pursuing further. Now, both jobs right now allow me to also keep my two nights a week job as a tech at the theater that I work at. So if the job that I would like to prefer to do, which is a full-time gig, which starts next week, doesn't happen, I still have this other job. Either way, it will be annoying to go from the west side of Manhattan to Brooklyn to work, and I will be going from that, like, basically on Fridays. I also have, like, there's a possibility they might want me to work more, which I will be interested in doing, but that is a conversation I have to have right now. So, as of today, my streaming schedule for the rest of this week is stable and as follows. I'm going to go look at my tweet to see. Streaming tonight, obviously 9 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday, originally I said I was going to stream at 6 o'clock and do a Hearthstone stream. I am not streaming at 6 o'clock because on Wednesday I will be working until 7:30. So I will be streaming at 9 p.m. on Wednesday, and I will do a Hearthstone stream this Wednesday at 9 p.m. I'm going to play some Hearthstone. So I'm going to adjust that. That's a new thing. Thursday, normal time, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. stream. Saturday, normal time, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. build stream. And as of right now, that is my schedule. So the only change this week is because I am working this job, which I didn't have before I put the schedule up. So if you want to watch me play Hearthstone this week, it will just start at 9 p.m. Because I can go and do that job. And it'll be fine. And the theater that I work at is dark this weekend anyway, so I'll be able to get into the rhythm that I have to get into. So that's that. I don't know what's going to happen with these jobs. Like I said, the job that I want it to do, they said they're going to give me paperwork this week. I'm hoping that comes sooner rather than later. The temporary job that I have here, I have not told them that I am going to quit next week because they wouldn't have hired me. But I am not beholden to them because it is a temp to perm position and it is a part-time job. And it's a fine job. is on my feet all day. That's fine. Uh, it means that I will be, getting out at 7:30, trying to make sure I'm actually out at 7:30. Uh, will be a balancing act so that I can rush home, eat dinner, and stream um, at 9 o'clock because I would prefer not to push back my start time. Uh, I do benefit from this Thursday. I'm going in the morning shift, so I will be able to stream at 9 p.m. no problem because I will take a nap when I get home and I'll be able to stream and it's no big deal. Uh, and then going forward, as I said, the new job that I'm coming in, the customer service job is during the day, so it won't affect streams. Um, and then hopefully this customer service gig uh, will allow me. Also, there's talk that they're going to allow me to uh, take off some time next month to do a project that I want to do, which is working at anime convention, Anime NYC. I have put in a request to be because I had agreed to work that before this job came along. So hopefully I will. But yeah, that's the job update. I actually have updates to give you about a job. That's new. And a lot of the contract stuff that I've been doing lately has been very easy, and I haven't even talked about it because it's just been like whatever, or stuff from home, or like 1 day gigs or 2 day gigs. This thing, the basically training all week, is fine. Or I've been working like reception jobs and just sitting at a desk, and you wouldn't know that I was working because I was just doing whatever, and there was no. Oh, I wished that job had been longer than 3 days, y'all. A couple weeks ago, I worked this gig, and I didn't even talk about it because it was like there's nothing to talk about. But it was reception, but there were two other people working at the desk, and I was there for like if I was there specifically, so if one of them had a meeting or went to go get lunch or whatever, there would always be two people at the desk. Well, a meeting that involved one of the two people at the desk happened once in the 3 days I worked there. So I just sat at the other desk, and then they would page me if they needed me to come over and fill in. And then I was to refill some stuff and like refill the coffee thing and whatever. And if we want to send you out for lunch or whatever, be available. But mostly I just sat at a computer and caught up on YouTube videos and sent emails and literally applied for jobs at the desk. And then occasionally had to get up and like go do something. But none of it was hard, and none of it was like, oh, I wish that had been the job. That was so great. It was like I was home. They're just paying me to be available. And like I said, yeah, once, maybe twice. There was one of the 3 days, hell yeah, not bad, right? One of the 3 days, literally, I went to go pick up food, which has already been paid for, and that's all I did. Because there was one of the two main people, there were three people that would work there, and one of the main people had left in this job, and the person that I was replacing had moved up, and those two people, the two people that worked together, really, really liked each other, and they just wanted to sit and gossip all the time. So they barely took bathroom breaks. They barely went out. Like I said, there were barely any meetings. So it was mostly just me, like, hanging out and being available for them. And it was great. They were like, yeah, here's a computer. Do whatever you need to do. Just we'll grab you if we need you. We probably won't. We refilled the coffee already. Like, they don't like, but it was literally like they just had me because they were like, we always want to have two people at the desk. Uh, yeah, I'm really bummed that temp job ended because that was a very good temp job. That was not temp to perm. That was part. That was short term substitution. Oh, it was pretty good. Also, in the job front, because I'll talk about it. I won't say the company, but a company that is based in Connecticut. Um, I applied for a job with them, and they wanted additional information, which is good. Not WWE, Leo. I will say this. I'll be transparent. I have applied for many jobs at the WWE. Both Stanford jobs, and also I applied for jobs in in Florida. I applied for a writing position for NXT, which I applied for several times over the years. I got a phone interview with them once for NXT. Um, but yeah, no, this job that I applied for is not WWE, which I have applied for. Because WWE I've applied for one time, they wanted to talk to me again. That's the one time. They've never wanted to talk to me since. Uh, because I've been told uh, I don't have enough television experience, which is true. I do not have a television writing job experience, and they really like that. Um, and that's fine. The job I applied for a couple years ago, that I was right for, and it was good, and they were interested, was mainly because of my comedy background. There was a producer who was very interested in the work I did, and also a friend of his had seen a UCBW, which was the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater's wrestling show that I helped run. He had seen that, so he was like, "Oh yeah. That's Beach Cop. You should talk to Beach Cop." So that's why. But that producer hasn't been with WWE in years. So when that job didn't happen, I wasn't surprised. Now, I applied for a job that's in Connecticut. They do work in various places, but they're based in Connecticut. And they wanted additional information. They wanted a full cover letter instead of just the resume I sent in. They wanted to know some extra stuff. There was a part to put in a reference. I have a friend that works there who I dropped in as a reference. It's nice to have someone in the company that I'm applying for, be like, hey, yeah. So I applied for that. I do not know if that is going to be a thing. I also did not do the research of where in Connecticut they are. They're a company I would like to work for, but I don't know if I'd have to move to Connecticut to work there, or if I could commute or telecommute, or, yeah, like literally just take the train every day, or if I would have to move to work there. I did not fully investigate it, but if I was going to work for them, it would be a job that I would want to do. So, we'll see. But yeah, I don't want to say the name. I'm also, like I said, I'm not saying the name of the temp company I'm working for to protect myself. And I won't say the name of the company the t-shirt company that I'm going to be working for, hopefully, if the paperwork comes in that they did make an offer and I accept the offer. So that hopefully is just a matter of time. But it hasn't happened yet. But that is the hope. Yeah, the NXT job that I applied for a couple years ago, I really want it because it didn't involve travel. It was a writing job. It was writing storyline stuff, but also working with talent about character development and on-camera work. So my improv training and my production of a comedy wrestling show, they were into, because they also, at the time, were about to hire some people from Chikara, one of whom did developmental, and then they released. One of whom made it to the main big show, and then she got hurt, and she's still on the injured list. And then also Drew Gulak not too long after that who certainly doesn't act like a comedy wrestler, but has comedy wrestling training. So if they were interested in that stuff, my abilities in that world. But the big thing was that it was working in Florida at their performance center for NXT and not traveling, and that sounded awesome. Because I didn't want to work the road. I wanted to live in a city and work a job that seemed cool. Speaking of cool, this is done. This is pretty cool. We finished this little bike. I'm going to take a photo of this after the stream is over because my phone is not near me. Let's see. Does it roll right in? It does roll right in. I might just roll that right in. But yeah. So this is the third of three of the Lego 3-in-1s. We did the rocket truck and the rocket rally car, and now we did the rally bike. So I am going to, as you can see, used very little pieces to do it. And now I'm just going to push all these pieces in here, and we will move on to a high-grade model kit in just a moment or two. If there's anything you want to chat about now, let me know. Of course, in the second hour, we will talk about anime because I have a show that ended, a show that is ongoing, and a show that just started to talk about. Not a lot. As always, Mondays is kind of a dry day. Luckily, One Piece literally happens during the stream, so I watched it last night. I finally had that Cheez-It Pizza Hut thing. Ultron, are you okay? It was salty on a level I never knew. Dang, that's some salt. That is some big old salt if you're like surprising amount of salt. Wednesday is the crazy day of the season. You're right. So there are legitimately 5 shows that I currently want to watch that all come out on Wednesday. Now, that could change because after one episode, I'm already thinking Kimono Michi is not going to be good and not going to be what I want. Other people might like it, but I don't know. I'd want to give it more than one episode, but I was already like, ugh. But there's still these 4 shows I want to see on Wednesdays. Luckily, because of my streaming schedule with y'all, I can watch some stuff on Thursday because there's only one show that... No, I think Thursday... Yeah, there's nothing that I watch comes out on Thursdays right now. So I'll be able to watch it... yeah, because I can watch Black Clover, and then there's Radiant, Ascendance of a Bookworm, Kimono Michi, Cautious Hero, and After School Dice Club. Also, all of Hulu's 3 out of 4 shows that Hulu is showing for anime all come out on the same day. That seems like a bad idea by them, of the Funimation shows that they chose to get. Seems surprising. I heard it was disgusting. Harold, assume is talking about the Cheez-It Pizza Hut thing. Also, I'll eat one on stream if I can raise $45 more for Extra Life. So, hey, folks, you can find Harold's links in the Discord. Check out Harold's streams. Harold, please promote on the Discord. I know that it might not feel like people click that stuff, but please always promote your streams on there as well, or follow Harold on Twitter and find out about his Extra Life streams because they're rad. Better cheddar or the superior cheese cracker. I haven't eaten a lot of better cheddars, so I don't know if I can get on board with that. I've eaten a lot of Cheez-Its. I've eaten a lot of Cheez-Its. I like Cheez-Its. I haven't eaten Cheez-Its in a bit, but I do like them. Either that or Goldfish. I mean, Goldfish are great. Flavor Blasted, the double Goldfish, the ones that leave so much residue on your hands, double Blasted Goldfish are the real MVP. So we finished this thing. We are now done with the Lego set. As you know, I really like these 3-in-1s. They are fun to build. But that's over now. And now it's time to work on a new project. We're working on From Iron-Blooded Orphans. We are about to partake in a cool thing and work on the Gusion. Look at that beefy friend. It is, indeed, y'all, big boy season. Now, I will say, I'm going to show you this. It's a high grade. It's a 144 scale. This is it. We're working on a big, beefy friend who is also tiny. So, we don't have a lot to build with this kit. What is that? There we go. There's not a lot to this kit, but it's going to be really fun. Gundam Chungus. Terry says that was my first kit I made. Yeah, this is one that like I forgot about because as the viewers that watch consistently know, I am not a huge fan of high grades or the 144 scale. I prefer the 1/100 scale. So over real grades. I think the scientific term is thick. Blue, you might be right there. A beefy boy, indeed. I'm sitting. It's sitting on your shelf. That's awesome, Dirty. Yeah, this kit is pretty simple. There are some stickers, but for a high grade, not many. Not many stickers. Happy about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Really, 6 stickers. Yeah. 6 stickers. Yeah. Not bad about that. Is Dwarven Warrior Gundam? Yeah, it feels like it. It's a big chunky boy. There are different incarnations of this. There are later revisions of this. I think there's an RE100 or a bigger scale version of this kit. But this is the 144 high grade. I understand why this is not a full mechanics. I understand why this is not a master grade. I would love if there's an RE100 of this. I think that would be really cool. It's a big beef with a big hammer, and we're going to build it. Also, we just had an uptick in viewers. Hello. Welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. It's as if someone set out into the cosmos. He's done with the Lego set. It's time for Gunpla. And you were like, I'm there. Hello. Welcome. Or it could just be that the longer you stream, the more likely you are for people to stop in. They did make a 2-pack of Gusion and Full City 100 scale, I thought. I think they did. I'm pretty sure they did do that. Yeah, I believe that you're right, Ultron. That they did do another version of this. All right, so I got to put that there. I got to adjust my camera because I'm going from Lego build to Gunpla build. So I got to adjust some stuff here and get ready for it. But yeah, this is a high grade. It's not going to take super long. If worst comes to worst, like, look, I don't think we're going to finish the next hour and 15 minutes, but I do believe that on Thursday we will complete this, and then we will start our next kit, which is kits. Because I've got some SD Gundams to build, Crossbone X, and the Zaku 2 to build. Those are going to be some fun. That's up next. And then I've got the Astray Blue frame to build after that. Because some lovely folks bought me some stuff off my wish list, which I will talk about later. I love the full mechanics kits. I love them so much. I'm always happy to put stuff like this to get. Those are some of my favorite kits to put together. This ain't bad. I'm not opposed to these kits at all. Here's the thing. Also for folks, right? Like, hey, this was on sale. Yes, coming up on the next exciting episode of Building with Baer, right? But someone bought this off my wish list, which is incredible, and I'm so grateful when that happens. Thank you very much. But like, here's the thing I don't love. I don't love when someone spends like $27 on a Dragon Ball kit and I build it in 2 hours. I don't love that. Sometimes that's going to happen because that's just the kit. But like, I like working on master grades. Yeah, a master grade's going to cost $50. It's going to cost $40 if it's a random weird sale. 40 to 50, sometimes $60 for a kit, right? But that's going to take like 2.5 to 3 streams for me to build. And I think like that feels like we're in it and we're talking about it and it's a thing. It's not a blip in the radar. So I generally prefer to do that when I'm building. Also, RE100s depend on the stream. Full mechanics depend on the kit. Sometimes those are fast builds. Sometimes those take a little while. But this high grade, like I said, we will finish it on Thursday. I am not expecting this to be done to take long. In my opinion, a high grade should be between 16 to 20, and master grade should be 45 to 50. Not grind style, I don't disagree with you. Sometimes high grades, the newer high grades, have been in the $25 range, and some of the newer high grades, I think, are interesting. They're like, the older high grades relied on stickers so much. These don't as much, which I appreciate. So I like that. I think the 1/100 scale high grades, which are few and far between these days, I think are great often. But yeah, and the real grades, that's the honest thing. Like, the real grades are what messes it up, because I spent $50 on that Sazabi, and it's worth $50 because it's that clear plastic, limited edition, sold at cons, incredibly beautiful looking kit. But it's a real grade, so it's 1/4 scale. But it's a real grade, so it's got detail. And like, okay, I'm excited to build that in the future. I've got 2 sets. I've got that. I've got the Shenlong Master Grade that came out this year. That was totally worth it. And also getting it at a con cheaper than Amazon. Now in stores, the stores are a different story. I could have found it cheaper in a store. B9 is this one, okay? Definitely could have found it cheaper somewhere, but still got that. And then I have a Lego set waiting in the wings to build, which looks cool, which was on sale, and I picked it up. All right, so this goes like this, into this, here, working on our frame, getting some lovely colors on our kit. All right. I have been told that this high grade is very sturdy, which it should be, considering that it's a big beef. It's a short beef. It's a big beef and also a short beef, is what I'm saying. A1, 18. Heck yeah. Not right now, but in a little bit, we'll take a pause for the cause, and we will discuss ways you can support the stream. We'll talk about some anime. We'll talk about things you want to talk about. We'll talk about things I want to talk about. It'll be cool. I did stream last night because of New York Comic Con. I had to stream on Sunday instead of Saturday. It doesn't feel weird when I do a game stream and the next day I do a build stream. That doesn't feel weird. But doing back-to-back build streams does feel odd, because I feel like I just did this yesterday. And obviously we're working on a different kit, but tonight when I started building Lego, I was like, did I just do this 24 hours ago? And the answer was yes. So that is a little weird. When I do back-to-back build stuff, it does feel odd. Yeah, feels like it's got weight to it already. And our first stickers are coming in. A226. We will put some stickers on this. We will connect it first and put stickers on it second, because I prefer to do it that way. None of these are water slides or dry transfers. These are all just old, your usual stickers. And this kit, let's see the year on this kit. The year on this kit is 2015. So these stickers should still be good. They are 4 years old, but that should still be fine. Sometimes water slides go bad or break bad, but usual regular old stickers are often fine. The thing that seems to be about water slides is that the backing just doesn't come off in water anymore, and you have to glue them on or adhere them a different way, which is a shame. All right. Get the front on. Now let's put some stickers on that thing, and we'll use our X-Acto knife. I'm still trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure my schedule out, my life schedule, which is changing because of these jobs and finding out if they're going to be permanent or not. So I haven't figured out when I'm going to do my pumpkin carving. But if you were like, Pat, I thought you were going to do a pumpkin carving sometime this month, I am. I am going to do that. I just don't know when I'm going to do that. All right. Yeah, it goes on there. Yeah, so you can see the difference in the green here. There's a sticker right there. And no sticker there. And we're going to add a sticker to that. And there's also some on the bottom. Nice and easy. Putting a rectangular sticker on there. No problem at all. Hello, Mr. Bob. Mr. Bob, welcome. You missed the end of our Lego 3-in-1 with the rocket bike build, which we did at the start of the stream. But we're just getting started with Gusion, the high grade, the 1/4 scale high grade Gusion. So welcome. Welcome to the party. I hope you're here to party. I got that Sazabi, Mr. Bob. Yes, I bought the Sazabi. I bought the Shenlong manga version with the sword and shield Shenlong. Those were my purchases. Also, I forgot. I'll show it on Thursday. I got a pin for. They had pins for the 40th anniversary Gundam. If you spent $75, you got a blue pin. If you spent $150, you got a gold pin. I spent $105, so I got that blue pin. It's a nice looking. It's a nice looking pin. That I will put on. I will show off that on Thursday. I forgot to grab it. It is in a bag. Did you get to chat with the Bluefin people? I always wanted to tell them they rock in person. So I didn't talk to anyone from Bluefin. I mean, I talked to, people that were working, that were exhibitors. I asked a question because the Shenlong did not have a price on it. And I wanted to know the price because it was, at the time, on Amazon, $65 with Prime shipping. And so I was like, well, if it's reasonably lower than that, which it was, at like 48 or something, I was going to get it. And it was like, yes, I will do that. But I did not talk to anyone in, like, PR or corporate or anything like that. At Anime NYC, I will hopefully have some time because at that time, at Anime NYC, I will be a contracted employee of Crunchyroll, most likely, expecting to be that to be the case. So for that, I might go and say hi, as my position as a temporary Crunchyroll employee, contract employee, and then try to talk to the PR person or a social media person from Bluefin. And say, hey, I run a small but dedicated stream that builds model kits. If you ever want to support a small streamer, let me know. Also, theoretically, I can buy, at Anime NYC, I can buy kits before the show floor opens. So, I don't think they're going to announce anything brand new. They might. But most likely, my hope is at Anime NYC, I can buy the heavy arms, which they did not have. Because I'm going to let you in a lot of secret, folks. Between the Shenlong and the heavy arms, I would have gotten the heavy arms. Because it's got way more missile launchers and looks fucking great. I really like the Shenlong Gundam, and I love that it has a sword and a shield, and the sword is on some sort of chain. I'm really into that, but I would have gotten the heavy arms if I could have. They just didn't have it. I don't think I will get the. It's on my wish list if someone ever wants to buy it, but I don't think I would get the real grade um, Tallgeese 3 because we've built the Tallgeese 3 in a master grade. I've built it on the stream, and it's not that different. So I don't think I would get that. But if someone wanted to buy it on my wish list, I would certainly build it, and we would have a good time with it. All right, so that's, the head goes in there. This goes in like this. Also, I forgot. So I'll show the. Is that a thick Gundam? Asked Surfing Ninja. Good night, Harold. Thanks for being here, buddy. Have a good one, my friend. I'll talk to you soon. Yes, Surfing Ninja. This is a thick Gundam. Now, often, as folks point out, eagle-eye viewers know that in the world of Mobile Suit Gundam, often the big beef are not actually Gundams. They're mobile suits, but they're not the Gundams. Gundams are often sleek, humanoid-looking, tender size for the tender boys that are piloting them. But this is not that. This is a Gundam that just is. This is a squat muscle. It is a dwarf Gundam. I built this kit in a hotel. This was a very good hotel kit. Mr. Bob, I can see that. Very few stickers. Nice big pieces. It's a 144 scale high grade, but it's gonna have some heft and weight to it. Thaco Bell, I get that, is following. Welcome, Thaco Bell. Happy to have you here. But this is a humanoid looking. That human just happens to be a sumo wrestler. Indeed, Surfing Ninja. I wanted to clarify that. When I said that the other kits are humanoid looking and this isn't, it is. It's just that the human that most Gundams look like is the pilots that pilot them, which is a very skinny Asian or white person, with some exceptions. Colonists. But every once in a while, you get a big friend like this, a preteen. I did a bunch of panel lining since the pieces are so big. It's 90% legs. I mean, it's just a squat. It's a dwarf. It's just a squat dwarven creature, and it's great. And I'm excited to be building it. I forgot that this existed, and then I just saw it on a recommended list on Amazon, and I was like, I'm putting this on my list. And I love that, like, it was bought the day I put it on the list, because that night I streamed, it was like, hey, I also just put this on the list, and it was like, yeah, all right, I'll get that. Torborn Gundam, right? Survey Ninja asks, is it a good or bad idea to use an extra fine Sharpie for panel lining? Mr. Bob, if you want to weigh in there, or other folks that do panel lining, I don't do panel lining. I think you get away with a Sharpie. You could get away with just a regular Sharpie. I myself don't do panel lining. I've never been a painter or line person. Folks that have been here for a while know this about Pat Baer. When I started streaming, I wasn't even doing stickers. I would forget water slides. I wasn't doing regular stickers. I was just building them. And then eventually I started working on high grades, and I was like, this needs to have a sticker on it. All right, I'm going to have to put a sticker on this. But I didn't even like doing that. And now I'm happy that I do stickers because it does, especially for a high grade, bring it to life. Gundam markers. The problem is Sharpie ink eventually turns purplish, says last book. Yeah, the Gundam markers do. I know people that really like those. I already panel lined my GM and some of my RX-79 too. There are some Gundam specific and some ultra fine markers that are cheap enough that I never tried a Sharpie. Last book brings up that it may eventually turn purple-ish. Over time. It also kind of depends on the plastic, the color of the plastic. I do know that. I don't pretend to know everything about that. Except for that is a thing that I have not had a lot of experience doing. All right, so we got to put some eyes. We're building the head right now. So we will pop out sticker 1. All right, there's our eye. Form arms and legs, form body, and I'll form the inevitable lawsuit. Indeed. And I'll form most of the thing and be the main character. All right. We're just applying a sticker, and we're putting nice even pressure on it to put it in place because, as I said, this is a 2015 kit, and these stickers could be a little dry. So we're just kind of laying in place and trying not to fuck it all up. Because I'll tell you one thing, folks. I really like you, and I really like doing this, but I am not interested in buying aftermarket replacement stickers. That is not something I'm interested in doing as a model kit builder, is to buy aftermarket stickers. I have 100% zero interest in doing that. Conversion kits, maybe. Maybe a conversion kit, but not replacement stickers. Mr. Bob just put a link in the chat of the marker setup that he has, which are Copic, C-O-P-I-C, markers, a 9-piece multi-liner inking pen set, black. All right. That has a pretty decent Amazon rating. So, cool. Funny thing with model kits is the tools start to become more expensive than kits themselves. Indeed. I mean, imagine if I had expensive snipper clips, like the ones that are one blade kit clips that aren't pinching, that are actually slicing. Like those can get pretty pricey. We don't really need that, but they can get pretty expensive. But yeah, when you start, even if you were like, I want to start displaying my kits, and you have to start buying a bunch of bases, and then you have to start buying IKEA furniture and cabinets to display, and you just start really going for it. Not Ground Style says, I spent almost $300 on airbrush equipment. Yeah, and I'm sure the upkeep on that, isn't a, like it exists, even if it's not super pricey. I'm sure that there's upkeep and cost, equipment cost, I should say, and upkeep. We're doing that. Right. Buying furniture place. I didn't mean furniture, folks. I'm fucking tired. By furniture, I did mean cabinets, and I said furniture. And that's not what I meant. But you knew what I meant when I said it. You knew I meant buying curio cabinets, and also cabinets as furniture. I keep putting more books into boxes so I have space on my bookshelves. Mr. Bob, I don't know. They're home decor. I know that. I know that the larger thing of home decor is where I would put I would say that shelving units and curio cabinets are home decor and not necessarily furniture. Because furniture, in my mind, is you sit on it. But then I don't know if an end table is furniture or not. I bought an IKEA glass case for my Overwatch statues. Hell yeah, you did, Leo. I don't know. It's semantics. It's probably not even semantics. I probably just am being silly. I don't know. But if you've ever bought a coffee table and you were like, what if this coffee table was glass and like top and I could put figures underneath it, then you have a lot of kits and you need more places to display them. I have a preferred brand of cabinet brand from Walmart. Okay. Heck yeah. Makes sense. All right. So let's do this pause for the cause thing. The head is almost done. I'm gonna put these. I gotta put these antennae, ears, whatever this is supposed to be, fins. Put those in. But that's the head. So I did the head, and I did most of the body. I'd probably go for an office chair first. Yes. Hello. I'm taking a pause for the cause. Folks that have not been here before, I am. This is just where I talk about ways you can support the stream if you'd like. It's like 5 or 6 minutes of me talking about ways you could spend money if you wanted to, which you are not obliged to do and do not have to do. And then I will get back to building. And in fact, once I finish this pause for the cause, I'm going to talk about anime, which you might be interested in. And I'll be talking about an ongoing series, a series that just ended today, and a series that it just started. And that's going to be fun. Leo, before I get into pause for the cause, I will say, no, I have never been tempted by Masterpiece Transformers. I used to have Transformers, and then in the reboot in the late 90s or early 2000s, when they rebooted the classics, I bought all those, and they just sat there, and I never transformed them. I like Transformers a lot, and also, when I built that Transformer model kit, the Optimus Prime, it was bad. I hear that those model kit Transformers are getting better, and that the Megatron that just came out is in fact good. But that Optimus Prime was a bad build, and I did not enjoy it. Anyway, pause for the cause. First and foremost, if you're a subscriber, hey, let's throw that Bear Cave emote. Let's throw that Lego emote. Scythe if you're a tier 2. Thank you very much for watching the stream. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for spending some of your actual time and life with me. It does mean a lot. You can subscribe with Cash Money. You can subscribe, or credit or debit card, or you can subscribe with your Twitch Prime coin if you have Amazon Prime. You want to link that to your Twitch Prime, to Twitch, and have Twitch Prime. You want to do that anyway, so that you get free games every once in a while and weird items for games that maybe you play. It's almost never stuff that I want. It's like loot for games that I don't play, but sometimes it's cool. One time we got a Hearthstone skin characters model, and that was cool. But yeah, subscribing helps the numbers go up, and that is helpful. It shows that I am an active affiliate and that people are interested in supporting me and want to watch my streams. If you cannot afford to do it, then don't. If you can gift someone in the stream, if you see someone in the chat who's been really engaging and interesting, and you want to benefit the stream and them by giving them the subscription, that would be rad, and you would be a champion. You could also do bits and coins. As you see above, we have that leaderboard, recyclable at the top of that leaderboard. You could join that leaderboard. That's the thing you could do. And again, you don't have to. There's fine folks out there who've been supporting me for months and months and years now, which is incredible and bizarre, and I did not think would be possible, and I really do appreciate it. I also have a Patreon, patreon.com/PatBaer. You could join that. I will be posting the YouTube link to this archive to them first. And then tomorrow, I'm going to be posting a video that's going to go live to everybody else on Wednesday. The way to watch that early is to become a subscriber at the $5 level. $10 level is going to vote on what I build next. Am I going to work on Chibi Gundams? I'm going to work on that Asteroid Red frame. Or blue frame. Not red. We did 2 reds, and I get confused. I'm going to put up a vote, and they're going to vote on what I build next. Because that's the thing they get to do. I also have an Amazon wishlist. This was bought off my wishlist. If you're watching the YouTube archive, in the show description, I list the all of these links that I'm talking about now. If you're watching in chat, just go over to chat. Look at chat. Here's this wish list. At the top of the wish list, which I'm now going to move to the bottom of the wish list because it doesn't need to be there, is a phone case for my phone that I'm probably just going to buy myself. But if someone was like, I don't want to buy a model kit, I'll buy you a phone case. I don't know. You could. That's what most people's wish lists are, is just things that if you're like, I don't know what you like, but I need to buy you a gift for some reason, then they'll be like, go to my wish list. And you're like, okay, that's $14. Get this charging case. So my phone is doing a fun thing where um, it needs to, the charging cable needs to be on a certain angle, and I am currently solving that with a rubber band to keep it in place. That's not a good solution. So one of these phone case charger things will line up well enough that it will charge. I practiced with the friends. I need a new phone, but also I need to pay rent first. So I got a bunch of stuff on that wish list. I'm going to move on from that. We're not going to keep talking about this wish list. My wish list is long enough that like moving a thing takes forever. But yeah, I got expensive kits, cheap kits, real grades, perfect grades, master grades, high grades, all kinds of cool stuff. Lego sets, papercraft, all kinds of cool shit. And you could buy that. Really cheap Lego sets, including two things I'd like to build on Halloween. And you could buy those now if you'd like. They're like $10 each. And that'll be kind of like the Halloween stream. We'll be building those. That'll be fun. Also, you could buy stuff on USA Gundam store. You get a gift card. You could buy that online, and they email you the gift card code, and you send me that code, and then I buy stuff there. If you're like, I don't want to buy things on Amazon, but I do want to support your stream. That's how you could do that, if that's something you wanted to do. Also, I have a Coffee and a Streamlabs and a PayPal. Those are ways to support. I mentioned this at the top. I'll mention it. I mentioned it a couple times. Going forward, right before the stream officially begins, after the pre-show, I'll be running an ad. And then right at the end of the stream, I will also be running an ad. Those will not be in the YouTube. They will just be on the stream and in the VOD, most likely. I believe they'll be in the VOD. And I am doing that because they just put in place that I can do that. Now, affiliates can run ads that benefit them. So I'm only going to do that at the top and bottoms of streams. I'll never do that during a stream, so don't worry about that. This is the only break I take. And also I got my Discord. Join my Discord. It's fun. It's relaxing. It's cool. Silver Streak's posting stuff that I don't fucking understand. And that's fun. People post photos of stuff they work on. They promote themselves. It's a good old time. All right. I got Okay, great. Finally, people are stopping to. So a thing that happened this weekend is that Austin Walker announced that he was stepping down as the editor-in-chief of Vice Gaming, aka Waypoint. And people were posting favorite moments from streams and whatever of Austin. Now, I didn't know that he was stepping down when these things were happening. So to me, I was like, why are people retweeting or liking my comment from a video where they're building, Danielle and Danica are building the cardboard. Someone in chat knows the name of it. It's the Nintendo Labo. I got it. Labo. They're building Labo, and in the background, Austin is like checking his phone, and they say something about we need Papa Bear, and he goes, "What's up?" And then he laughs because he realizes, and they laugh because they realize, and then I had retweeted that and said, this is perfect, because it was. It was the perfect compilation of who Austin Walker is and what he's accepted he is as well. Because later, they say Papa Bear, and he looks up and then laughs. He doesn't say anything the second time, but he does get caught immediately after, and it is fucking funny. Now I'm going to drink some water and scratch my ear. It's a good time. I got this new water bottle / thermos. It is promoting the Apple TV show from M. Night Shyamalan called Serve It. This is not an ad. I just have this, and it's a good It's a good thing. It's better than me using plastic water bottles for a couple weeks and then throwing them away. Recycling them, not throwing them away, but you know what I mean. This is better. Um, yeah, so people were like comment or like liking that post, and I was like, why are people liking this old Austin post? It's because people were retweeting it. It is a great Austin moment. Uh, oh wow. A very long time radio station um, uh, just closed, which was a nonprofit, and some high names in it were leaving because uh, they were bringing in someone who was problematic, and so some high profile people left, and then a day later they're like, actually, we're shutting it down. WBAI. I did enjoy Austin reading Randy Pitchford tweets popping back up. Yes, that is some good stuff. You're not wrong. All right. I finally got caught up on that podcast and got emotional a little bit. I'm very grateful to be involved with both their first ever stream. I got to come hang out during that. But I've done every marathon stream that they've done. I've been able to be a part of it, and I've been grateful for it. Even if, unfortunately, I am connected to one of the worst games ever streamed on Waypoint. I'm just sad that I had to be there for that, because it was truly horrendous. God, that game was awful. Ugh. But yeah, I'm grateful to be had even a small part of it. To be occasionally be on a podcast was really fun. Um, Back in when they were starting up, I was a guest, and it was very funny because I'd like messaged Danielle and I was like, "Hey, if you ever need someone to fill in, I don't work. I work at night and I'm local. I can walk to the offices." And she was just like, "Do you want to do tomorrow?" I was like, "Yes, I will be there." Uh, and that was when they had podcast producer Tim Barnes. Tim Barnes was the podcast producer, who was a stand-up comedian and a comedy writer. Was that the really questionable 90s adventure game? Ultron, it was indeed. It was a 90s adventure game that was re-released and maybe didn't need to be. I will still forever be grateful for myself for recognizing that a actor in that because so there was a guy who was like talking. There's clearly an actor there that I went, this guy worked on this game or made this game, and he was the lead on the game, and I correctly guessed that, and I was very proud of myself. Also, Harvester is a terrible game. Don't watch anything about it. If you do play it, don't go to the Firehouse. If you're watching clips, don't watch Firehouse clips. There's a lot that's bad about it, and that is very bad. It was a bad time. It was the late night block, and Patrick was like, well, we have to play bad things during the late night block. And I'm like, why? There are people who are up late who want good things. We could give them good things. But that was not to be. Yeah. Harvester is trash. 90s edgelording. Some early edgelord. It was such a testament to all those people that I'm a regular listener and patron supporter of Shift F1, and I have yet to watch an F1 race. Leo, I have not gone that far. I will say that when Drew was still at Giant Bomb and F1, Alt F1, no, Shift F1, Alt F1 at the time was a premium podcast for Giant Bomb. I listened to it, having never watched a race. I should go back into it because I do miss hearing Danny and Drew on a regular basis, and I do enjoy Rob as well. So I should probably go back to it. Um, Hello, Christian. Welcome. Dirty's here, of course. All right. Well, this is good. Now that Christian's here, we can talk about anime. Because I know that Christian also keeps up with the shows. So let's do it. We are going to talk about 3 shows, as I've said. I wasn't necessarily waiting for you, Christian, but you are here, so it's a good time to start. It's just a coincidence. Um, but there are 3 shows that I want to talk about. So let's start with um, the ongoing, because I've been negative about it, but this episode was fucking rad. Um, it was One Piece. So One Piece has been frustrating because they have been the anime follows me. One Piece has been frustrating because they have been really slow. Last week's episode was just a lot of people staring at each other and not doing anything, and introducing a new character and then not doing anything, and then, oh look, these characters are here, they're not going to do anything, and it was really annoying. This episode had action. It had punches. It had uh, a beautiful little moment where a young lady who knew Ace, who is Luffy's brother, saw Luffy do the move that Ace did and see Ace, because she believed Luffy when he said that they were brothers. The guy that she called Big Brother. But now she has, like, in her mind, confirmation, and it ruled. Also, Law is going to do some shit, and that's great because Law is cool. So, good things happened. Maybe other things will happen. There's something interesting about the horse character, the horse girl. She ate the horse fruit. That she is an archer. I don't know why I think that that's a cool choice. Is that she is, by all accounts, some sort of centaur horse lady, but she shoots arrows that appear to be covered in hockey. Hockey covered arrows is also cool. That's just cool shit. I don't know. Like I said, this episode has some cool stuff and good fights, and Dr. Law says, Christian, you're right. I apologize. Law is a doctor. He didn't become one of the world's greatest surgeons, if not the best doctor in the world, for me to not refer to him as a doctor. You're right. I apologize. He is a doctor. But yeah, y'all, it was a good episode of One Piece, and since the last 2 episodes I did not enjoy, it was nice to have one that I definitely did enjoy. All right. Now let's talk about the new show. The new show is, didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life? This is an isekai with a female lead character. She was female in our world. She died. She is now a female lady. She has her memories. She's in a fantasy world that also has nanomachines. They explained that magic works in this world because nanomachines, you connect with the nanomachines that exist, she's one of the only people you can see. She's got a cute little sidekick. Yeah, there's some nanomachines. And she's like, that's weird. And he's like, yeah. It does the thing that's been happening lately in anime, where isekais reference the fact that isekai is a thing. It happened in what show happened? Oh, Shield Hero, Rising the Shield Hero. Demon Lord Retry. The guy says, "I wish I had read more light novels," which I thought was a good touch. There are a few shows. Cautious Hero references the fact that heroes get chosen from Japan quite often because Japan has a foundational knowledge of the genre, and so they're more willing to accept the reality of what they're doing, the odd reality. It happened in Slime too. You're right. In Slime, he references it. Um, so she knows that she's in a fantasy land, and sometimes things happen in this episode, and she's like, I can't believe this is happening like this, because she kind of understands it. The world she's living in. It is a joke. It references some things. It is a comedy series. There are gags that are pretty funny. I thought originally the idea of her being average was that she had some overpowered abilities and some underpowered abilities. That's not the case. When she died, and a mysterious figure said, "What is your wish?" Her wish was to make her an average girl because she was like a prodigy. Um, and an overachiever and didn't have friends. And then so she died. She was like, what if I was average and just lived an average life? That would be cool. Well, here's the thing. She has average abilities for that world. She is the average between a human that doesn't have any magic abilities and a legendary dragon, which is the most powerful thing in that world. But it is so beyond anything anyone has ever conceived that by being the average of those 2 points, she is well above almost all humans. She is already one of the strongest people in the world. She can do magic without chanting because she can just imagine it happening, which very few people have ever done, I believe that they said, or no one has ever done, because it like freaks people out. She gets very angry at the end, and her magic ability people are like, what the fuck? Welcome, Last Geek Plays. We are talking about a new anime called Didn't I Say to Make My Abilities Average in the Next World or Next Life? It's too long of a name. It's a light novel name. Didn't I Say to Make My Abilities Average in the Next Life? So that came out today. It is, right now, neck and neck with Child Prodigies as my favorite isekai of this season. Because Cautious, I am cautious about. Bookworm, I like, but I'm not sure about. And Kimono Michi, I am worried I will hate. But yeah, it was good. It's good. We met some stereotypical characters. There's a knight who is somewhat androgynous, but definitely wants you to know that she is a lady. But because she's a knight, our main character is unsure about that. There is a magic user that seems to be focused on just damage magic. There is a healer that seems either to be kind of dumb or a con artist. And they're all going to learn to be mages or heroes. They're all going to become heroes. She doesn't necessarily want to be a hero, but she wants to go to like boarding school, and it's free tuition. Because like legitimately, this character was oh, that's the wrong piece, right? The character that we meet, she's like of noble birth and is like, no, I don't want to be of noble birth. Let's pretend I'm not. I just want to be an average girl. And her mystical creature friend is like, you get in a lot of trouble for someone who wants to be an average girl. But yeah, it was good. It was a good episode. Came out today. I would recommend it, Christian. I think it is already one of my favorite shows of this new season. And it starts off with you seeing her, and then they flash back to what happened. Oh, I forgot. I'm going to spoil a gag, because it's a good one. I said how this show is very aware of isekai and the trope. They literally say, and then the truck showed up. That mythical truck showed up. Because, yes, she did get hit by a truck trying to save a child, which isn't always in isekais, and isn't only in isekais, but is often how characters die. Because either they get stabbed, pushed in front of a train, or hit by a bus. They get hit by a bus, truck, or train almost always. Or they get summoned alive. But if they get reborn, if it's the reincarnation one, they get hit by stuff. I do like that Bookworm, it seems like books just fell on her at the library, and that's how she died. I'm pretty sure the descendants of a bookworm died because books fell on her head. I wasn't paying super close attention with that one, but that's what I think happened, which is pretty great. All right, so we're going to put this on here. We're going to put some stickers on it. We're building an arm here. It goes like this. But yeah, it's the same truck. Prove me wrong. Dirty Monkey. I don't know, Dirty. That's totally possible. That it's the same dang truck every time. All right, so we got to put 3 on here. One of our last stickers. Well, pairs of stickers. Goes on here. Just going to pop that on. But overall, it was funny and cute. I did see that dog. I did see Ayin, and that's a good dog. That sounds like a Gintama joke. Yes, it does feel like a Gintama joke. But yeah, it was a good gag. There's some good gags in it. The last shot is a good gag as well. The very last moment of the first episode is a good bit of business. Yeah, overall, I'm expecting, like, the joke that she looks very young. The main character looks very younger than she is. She's just short and looks young. I'm expecting that to be a recurring gag. I'm hoping that the fact that she thinks that someone says that she's flat-chested, and that's what actually makes her powers go out of control. That she's good at having the powers, but they go out of control because someone makes some reference to her chest size, and that's clearly why she's a child. I'm like, that joke is fine, but I don't need it. So I'm hoping that isn't a reoccurring gag. But yeah, overall, pleased with that show. Now let's talk about the last anime show. It was the last episode of Arifureta. And I'll say this. A pretty good action. So, a lot of people come to Isekai because they want just overpowered characters, being overpowered, doing cool shit, never really stressing. There are plenty of Isekai where they're like Isekai Cheat Magician was a lot of overcoming and figuring things out. But Arifureta, occasionally they're worried, but rarely are they. Since he got his abilities, Hajime has not been worried. It was pretty cool to watch him just be fucking incredibly great, and he was reunited and saving the people that had been there when he was knocked farther into the labyrinth, that thought he was dead. He got to save people. He got to save the girl and friends, and he gave the pretty cool friend that he appreciates and likes, who works really hard, the samurai character. He gave her a really cool sword, and she got to do cool shit with that sword. And it was fun. The new character, the mermaid girl, got to interact with people, and that was kind of fun. And Kaori, the girl that has always tried to get him out of his shell, one of the people that was the healer and said she would protect him, that didn't want him to go on the thing in the first place because she had a vision about it. She finally has more character than just sad about her friend being dead and being nice. They gave her a little bit to do in this episode. I'm talking positively about Arifureta, a show that, starting with episode 5 or 6, I started to really dislike. I liked this episode. Because it had so much action, there wasn't a lot of the interpersonal harem stuff. It was there, which is my least favorite part of the show. but it wasn't the focus of it. Uh, the thing that like literally you could see her magic encompass her because the mermaid girl is calling the main character Hajime Papa. She's decided that because she doesn't have a Papa, he's her Papa, and they've all kind of accepted that. So that uh, to have her be like, hey, that's like, hey Papa. She's like, what are you knocking people up? Who are all these ladies? What is this? Like her jealousy appeared, and that's probably because she had a crush or she had feelings for a guy who was just a quiet but hardworking guy who treated her like a person because she was definitely being pursued by multiple people, including the dude that legitimately tried to kill him, who he does not even look at. They cut to the dude. We know this dude shot a blast of magic at Hajime, which caused him to fall and presumably die. We know that. We know that he did that shit, and he knows that that Hajime is now fucking incredible and awesome and really strong, and so he's freaked the fuck out. Let's see. Yeah. Also, we find out. So a lot of these powers come from him having abilities that he got from beating dungeons. We find out that a demon or someone who the demons are working for has also done that. We don't know who, but that's probably going to be our second season. Big Bad is revealing that. Also, yes, there's going to be a second season, apparently. They announced at the end of the 13th episode there's going to be a second season, which I am surprised about. That there's going to be a second season of Arifureta, a show that I did not realize was popular because I am the only person that I know that talks about it, and I know a lot of people that watch anime. And two, that not only is it coming out, they know already. So the last shot, Dirty, of the 13th episode, they didn't subtitle it, but it says, see you soon for season 2, in the very last shot. And that's the art from that is drawn by the manga artist, who then tweeted, he's excited there's going to be more, and the two Japanese voice actors, tweeted about how they're excited to continue doing it. There's an OVA that is probably already been shot that's coming out on the Blu-ray release, that is based, one of them is based on a diary, so I don't know what they're going to do with that, but diary entries from UA, and we never got another season of Log Horizon. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff I love that we'll never see more of, and it's such a shame. I want more Flying Witch. I really want more Flying Witch. I'm never going to get more Flying Witch. Speaking of, and I'll maybe come back to Arifureta in one moment about if there's anything else that I'm thinking about. I will say that a totally watchable show. It's an isekai that takes place on our world. Is a regular at Magic School, is getting a second season. You're gonna check out the PSO2 anime. Oh yeah, I heard of that. I have not thought to check that out. I'm waiting to see if people are talking about it, because it didn't really hold like I should check that out. Yeah, so Christian, yeah, I like it too. To me, it's just one of those like, it's in many ways, it is that wish fulfillment main character, super strong character. This is through science, he has these abilities, but there's a great supporting cast. I think the high school uniforms are a cool design. There's a lot going for it. The movie is fine. It's nothing to write home about. But also, that show has a really weird thing about it where, because the main dude gave up his humanity for power in order to protect his sister, she feels very obligated to support him, and they definitely are related by blood and don't act on anything, but are definitely in love with each other. And it's really weird. And thankfully, a lot of people in that anime call it out. And they were like, what is this? Why? Please stop being jealous of me because that's your brother. Are you sure you're related? Hey, what the fuck? What is happening right now? Like, they play it for laughs, Christian. You're right, but it also is really weird and uncomfortable. Like, he is about to murder a dude that sabotaged her device that helps her control her magic, or CAD. Like, when he discovers that someone is messing with the safety of his sister, he is like, I am going to kill you. What do you think you're doing? Um, it is along the lines of No Game, No Life. Yeah, Dirty, I would say that's an apt comparison. Yeah, I don't know if it's worse because the thing is that they're both depraved characters in No Game No Life. They're clearly depraved people, so them liking each other fits. Whereas these folks are, for the most, on the up and up. And in fact, one of the deals is that the main dude doesn't have a lot of emotions because he's part of a science experiment to increase his magic abilities. Um, uh, so the fact that he only seems to like care about his sister, that's how he's overcome his limits, is weird because they are otherwise just people. Uh, but it's also like a double-legged anime and like has good action and great characters. Uh, there's a character Leo. He's an old school magic user because he just does armament magic. So he just has a big fist, like a big metal fist that he makes so it can't break. So he just yells Panzer and punches people. Like eventually he does learn a cooler ability, but it is awesome because they're just like, that's so old school. Voice activation. Yeah, the fight scenes are pretty cool. The spells look good. All the magic, like they spent money on that show. It looks good. Um, but yeah, and there's some really good support characters and some good romance stuff and some good like high school. There's some good high school romance involved, which I can I certainly appreciate. Uh, yeah, like characters just there's a point where like two characters are like sitting next to each other and like nervous and they like touch hands and it's very clear that everyone is looking at them and they're like jealous or uh and then they like turn away. Like there's some even though it's a show about look, it's a show about high school students, but also the main character completely murders, or he doesn't murder, he captures the leader of a terrorist organization, uh, and then he also murders a lot of people in the name of the Japanese government. So there's a lot going on. Uh, there is like beef between clubs. Yes. Yeah, there's a whole like thing going on between like good magic users and magic users that are struggling and all this stuff. Is the PS2 anime from 2016 tied to this PSO2 episode Oracle anime? I have no idea. I did not know it existed until you mentioned it, so I cannot tell you. So Arifureta. It ends with they're going to continue their adventures, and Kaori, the girl that was always nice to him, confesses her love. He says, I'm in love with someone else. And she's like, well, I want to prove to you that you should accept my feelings, which is weird, and I don't love that part. I don't like that part that much. And then, so she's like, I want to come with you. I want to prove to you how I feel. And the girl that he claims to be in love with, because it's a weird relationship, Yue, the vampire, is like, sure, you can come along. I want to show you how much, uh, um, how much they love me. Yeah, he stole the cleric healer. Yes, the main group's healer now goes with them, a group that does not need a healer because they have missed. Well, I mean, I guess they don't want to waste their precious mana water, but they don't need a healer because none of them are ever going to get hurt because they. I mean, eventually maybe they are, but also is she strong enough power to heal them? But whatever. They leave. It's a whole thing. Uh, Look, increasing the harem means that the dragon uh, lady can talk less, which is great because she is, as I've stated, definitely not my favorite character. Quite the opposite, in fact. Probably my least favorite character in the show. Because the bunny girl settled down quite a bit and is kind of fed into her role. But yeah, there's just a lot. Like I said, that show had one main character and one love interest, and now has main character, 4 love interests, and a young lady who considers him to be her dad, but when she grows up, will also definitely love him because it's a fucking isekai. So of course she will grow up. She will probably age very quickly and be an adult in by the end of season 2. Because that's what mer people do. Because it's a fucking anime. Ugh. Sometimes, y'all. Sometimes. So many people are forced to sit back. I did find that funny that as they're figuring things out, the bunny girl goes, UA always sits in the front, but someday I'm going to sit up there. I did think that was pretty funny. Also, Better Humvee. The Better Humvee anime was in Gate. Yes, because it's a real Humvee. And not... because also the vehicles in Gate were drawn like everything else in Gate. Whereas the vehicles and most monsters in Arifureta are CG and look terrible in their own anime. The CG in that show is... I can't believe they're doing a season 2 because I can't believe they have a budget. They took a week off because of expenses. And I'm so surprised because almost all of it looks so bad. The motorcycle doesn't look too bad, but all of the vehicles look terrible outside of that. And most monsters look awful. There's a big boulder at one point that just looks so bad. I don't know. In the end, it did redeem itself somewhat. I do think that it was a better show by the end of it than it was at the beginning. So I will give it that credit. I will give it its props. It's weird that Gate never got a 3rd season. Yeah, I mean, the 2nd season kind of, it did kind of wrap things up. And I don't know where you go from there. I mean, I guess there are other things to conquer. But, I mean, Gate does the whole, oh, these people are dating. This person's pregnant. These people are doing whatever. Everything's cool. Like, they kind of wrapped it up. So, but I know that show was very popular. And apparently, oddly, considering how pro Special Forces it was, that the Japanese military really liked that anime. Because it's just it basically is just like, hey, you know who's awesome? The Japanese military. We get shit done even in fantasy worlds. Oh, you're coming to our world with your dragons and your trolls and your gnomes? Yeah, fuck you. Now we're going to your world and we are taking what's ours. And it's just like, all right, okay, sure. But it is cool guy stuff. So that's why I did recommend Gate to Dan Reichert, because I thought he would enjoy the cool guyness of that show. because it's a very cool guy show. So I thought he would appreciate it. Like the idea of just like shooting missiles at a dragon. Like, okay. Other than the elf who thinks that uh the elf that thinks that the main dude is her dad because she's just in shock from him being dead and how long it takes for them to help her. They don't help her for a really long time in that show, and that sucks. I wish that they had helped her a lot better and a lot sooner. Uh, you know, and Mercury is great. A little lowly, murderer. That's always fun. Lowly, age-old person with a scythe. Very good. Uh, there's some good stuff in that in Gate. It's not perfect by any means, but it's totally fine. It is a perfectly fine show. Some of the support characters don't get enough. They don't get to do enough, I would say. But Pina Colada, yes. Pina Colada is a good name. You're not wrong. Uh, Also, I really like his so so if you've never seen Gate, it is, as I said, a magical gate from a fantasy realm opens, and then people come in to take it over, and they kill some Japanese folks, and that fucking obviously not cool. And the Japanese military helps defend, and a guy who was just at comic. I can't remember how to say it. I know how to pronounce it, but he was at a manga convention, like a manga show. But he's off duty military, and he works in the military to earn money for his hobbies. But he's a good dude, exemplary soldier, gets the job done, saves a lot of people in the process. And then, so he gets sent over there to do some stuff. Yeah, here's the thing, Christian. He cares a lot, but he cares a lot, but he also cares about all his hobbies as much as he cares about being a good dude and helping people and all that. He also really does care about manga and anime and his stuff. One of the in this fantasy world, all these relationships, these elves and mages and yes, dirty. He went through Special Forces training because it meant a better job. And then also, if he hit a certain rank, he thought he wouldn't have to be, he could work in a base and then be able to go and afford things. One of the things I like about that show, it's got all this mythical stuff. He's got, his party includes a princess and her female knight attendants, and a bunch of stuff is happening. But also, we meet his ex-wife, and she's just a manga artist, and waiting for her alimony check, and they love each other, but they kind of got married for convenience, they got married so that she could be on his health insurance, because they're just friends who do love each other, but they don't really know how to be together. They're not sure how to do that. And that's just even though this show is, like I said, a fantasy series, it does feature a little bit of humanity, and that's very odd. Yes, the Goth Lita, Herald of a God. Yes, Rory. Rory is there. An elf, and then a dark elf, and a mage. But also, like I said, also a princess and her attendee are there doing their thing. They find out about they want to read literature, and then they find out about boys love manga, and then they're like, we want to go to a library and check out your books. because in their world they don't got boys love books, and they're like, "What's up?" Uh, and it is a funny gag of all the like the things that happen, like advanced weaponry and radio support, and their base is obviously state of the art, and the fact that they can bathe. Uh, yes, the drill hell ladies, boys love obsession. Yes, the princess, but also there's a weird gag in there where she's just like, I never knew our world had this kind of books or this kind of library, and he's like, yeah, we're not in the we're in a different world. And she's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. And I'm almost like, why does that come in? I mean, there's some darkness into it. Yeah, there's some slavery. Uh, you are meant to feel bad for the revenge that someone is cooking up, but their revenge fails so spectacularly that you you don't really feel bad, but you should feel bad because she's just trying. This was her epic plan to get revenge, and then it fails. Um, they end. Do they end up going to the fact that they start reproducing the works in their world? That is not in the anime. They shoot a lot of people, Christian. You're right. There is a lot of the concept of, oh, you got armor? Well, I have a machine gun. I have an assault rifle. That gets played up a lot. Regular ass knights, yeah. And hey, sometimes those knights they became bandits and outlaws, and sometimes those knights are just doing their job. Uh, they're just like, oh, I'm gonna follow the prince in his uprising, and it's like, you should not do that because the people with all of the guns decided they liked the princess. Also, hey, Gate. Uh, there's also a young lady, a very young lady, and the one of the diplomats from Japan. Uh, he goes out of his way to decide that, hey, we are going to save her. We are going to do the right thing, and I'll deal with the consequences later. And he makes up a reason why she's important to save her. And then at the end of the series, she does say that they're going to get married, and he says, we're going to follow all the laws, because she is definitely at best a very young teen who has decided this older gentleman is that she's going to marry him. And it does come out of fucking nowhere and does not need to be in it. They did not need to do it. He could have just decided to adopt her instead. But instead of that, they have a joke about him being like, we're going to follow all the laws. Everything is cool. Don't everybody worry. And it is definitely played for laughs and is not funny. I don't know why that's in there. It is really fucking weird. In one of the entire in the one that the entire island of Japan is pulled into another world. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know if I know that isekai. That might just be a graphic novel, or a book and not an anime. But it's possible. I just don't know it. I mean, I don't know every anime. Um. Yeah, I would say Prodigies feels like it's gonna the fact that it is an isekai that starts with the idea that they're already super powered is pretty interesting. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up the stream because it's 11. I got in an anime talking mood, like I don't always get an anime talking mood, but yeah, I'm gonna wrap stuff up tonight. Next stream, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, as usual. I'm going to be working in the morning. I'm going to take a fucking nap. Then I'm going to stream for all y'all, and it's going to be radical. That's that. My next actual stream is Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Originally it was going to be 6 p.m. Now it's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern because I'm going to be working on Wednesday, and then I'll come home, and then I'm going to play Hearthstone. If you want to hang out with me playing some Hearthstone on Wednesday, you could do that. I'm going to try to find a new deck to play, but really, I'm probably just going to play the decks that I've been playing because they're fun. Um, this was a great stream. Thank you all for being here. The Gusion looks rad. The Lego car, the bike was fun to build. I hope you have a great night. And I'm going to end the stream with an ad. Uh, and I'll ask you, if you can, watch the ad. It's 30 seconds, and it means that I get a little bit of money, I guess. So I'm going to stop recording for the YouTube because YouTube will never see the ads. But you're going to see an ad right now. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.